What's up, Mile High City? It is time for Big Mike's open night. Excited to see this guy once again, who's going to be at Comedy Works South at Landmark. We got Christopher Titus. How you doing, man?
Thank you, sir. Good to be back with you. My new show's doomed to repeat, and also on 800-Pound Gorilla, they just released my 10th comedy special. The one I'm doing now is my 11th.
Carrying Monsters?
Carrying Monsters is 10th, yeah. And it's we're like a couple weeks in, and it's over. It's almost at 600,000 views. Yeah, it's pretty good for an hour and 40-minute comedy special.
You just put that up like last month, right?
Yeah,
like recently?
And that one is like, because if you know Norman Rockwell's Bleeding is the stories of my life, and people go, those are dark. Carrie Monsters is all the stories I couldn't tell because people were still alive.
Okay. You had to wait for them to leave?
I had to wait for them to say bye-bye, go to the other side, and I don't know which side they went, but they went.
They went somewhere.
And now I can do it. So as I say in the show, I don't have to go to court.
Yeah, exactly. You have to worry about their estate, maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, it's my family. There's no estates.
Well, I mean, you say number 10, comedy special number 10. You I had to pull up because I was like, when did I first meet you? We used to have a comedy radio station here.
Yeah.
And like our picture was in 2012. But I mean, even then you had been doing comedy, but I'm like, man, you've been doing this, man. You've obviously made such an awesome career of this. Now you got to special number 10.
Yeah.
You know, how's that feel? Like when you know that you've wrapped up the 10th special of yours, I mean, what does that feel like for somebody, like when you think back when you started?
I tell you what, if you include, they're all 90 minutes too, so if you include this one, then I'm about 1,000 minutes of stand-up comedy produced, and that's stuff, and then imagine all the stuff that didn't stay. I got to tell you, man, it was a milestone. But then here's what happened. Years ago, I was watching. I was on that show Big Shots, and George Carlin had done an interview, and they played it, and he said. He goes, what do you think of comedy today? He goes, I think you guys suck. And he kind of went off. He goes, I do a new show every 2 years. I got a new hour. And he goes, or every 18 months. And he goes, and you guys just keep doing the same stuff year after year after year. And if you ever have someone tell you something as an insight and it hits you in the gut and you're like, oh, that's the truth. And so I turned to my girlfriend at the time, who's now my wife, and I said, I'm going to put out a new special every 2 years, no matter what. I go, because that's my job. Yeah. And so the problem is sometimes it has to. The problem with it is that, like, what's the next one going to be about? I never want it to be a bunch of random bits. It always has to have a point to it. Yeah. And so this one, Doomed to Repeat, was about I found out my family's been in America since 1635.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. Who's OG American people? That's right.
OG American.
Yeah. Titus has been here 400 years. And
did they not invite you to the Olympics? I mean, come on, man.
And guess what? Been here 4 years. We don't own anything. There's no Titus Bank.
Damn.
Like we. What did we detail the Vanderbilt's cars? Like exactly what happened?
Somebody had to do it. Somebody had to do it.
We were drunk and fighting. That's the Tituses for 4 years. So, and then we started Titusville, Florida, which I found that out. And how do we start that? Was Colonel Titus an amazing man? Nope. He won the right to name Titusville, Florida in a drunk domino game. That's the tracks. It totally tracks. So I did that. And so this show, the Doomed to Repeat, came out of where we are now in our country. And then how we started, and it was weird. It gives me this weird kind of upper level. I get to tell you what America's really like because my family's been here 400 years. Yeah. We didn't do anything, but we've been here 400 years.
Been that long, and you've been able to explore most of the country. I'm sure most of its nooks and crannies on the road over here.
Yeah. There's Tituses all over the place, which I found out. And we ended up being Quakers. We started out as Puritans. We ended up being Quakers. My 10th great grandfather, was the first head of the first family to get kicked out of the Massachusetts colony.
Wow.
Like there was no one in the country. There was 3,000.
Was this all information your family already had, or did you have to go on that genealogy show where they backlogged the whole thing?
So I did the DNA test, found it out, and then my aunt gave me a bunch of stuff that tracks back, and she goes, we track back to England. I go, you're kidding me. So Robert Titus's brother Silas was literally in the court with King Charles II, but obviously Robert was the criminal because he left. They're like, my brother's with the king. We need to go. Get on a boat. We've got to get out of it now.
As far as we can go.
Yeah. The new world. We might die, but we don't care. It's either prison or death. Let's go. So when I found that, I had this weird kind of idea that I can talk about America currently as a professional because my family's been here so long, and that's where Doomed to Repeat came from.
You're a professional American.
Damn it, I am.
Not too many people are. I appreciate that about you.
I'm just surprised we survived. So I did the genealogy, and we tracked it all the way back, and tracked through Titusville, Florida, and tracked through, and then came over on the Hopewell. Like, I know all this weird. I know more about history now than they ever taught me in school.
I think if more comedians did a little backlog of their family history, they'd have more content.
Yeah, but also after 10, 11 specials, I need content. So I'm just doing everything. Give me an encyclopedia and give me a couple hours.
You're like, I remember I made that commitment to keep putting content out, but I want there to be a point. Like, well, there has to be something there. So.
And now my wife and I are going through some rough times in a relationship about that. Well, there's stuff special 12. That's the problem with me is that if you look at all my specials, Norman Rockwell, Love is Evil, a nightmare has to happen in my life, and then I get a new 90 minutes.
You're the Taylor Swift of comedy. Like, I love it.
I'll take that.
I love it.
I'll take that. It offended me, and I will also buy into
it. She has Swifties, you have the Tituses. I don't know what you got over there.
Titties?
You got those. You got those. I'm sure there will be a Comedy Works South this weekend. So you are at Comedy Works South this weekend. And, you're in Denver, and so like I said, you've been all over the country.
Yep.
When I imagine certain cities make you respond a different way. When you know that Denver's coming up for you, what's that mean for you as a stand-up?
In my top three. In my top
Is
three.
It? Okay.
The club, the Comedy Works, if you've ever been, is both clubs. Downtown Club is both clubs are magical. Downtown Club has this weird thing. I play South because it's such a nice theater. It's got some seats. But comics, here's how good the Downtown Club is. Comics will go perform there and say, dude, I killed in Denver. I go, did you do Down Club? Tell me. You don't even know if you're funny. That club, if you breathe weird, if your nose whistles, they laugh.
Yeah.
So you're good. You go to Toledo. Go do the Draftcade in Toledo. Yeah.
The Draftcade.
The Draftcade. It's a Funny Bone with a draft. It's a Funny Bone comedy club, and outside there is an arcade. Nothing makes me proud.
Well, we need to make some changes at Comedy Works. Come on now.
Well, here's the thing. I'll go anywhere you pay my money.
Yeah.
I go to the Draftcade. Yeah, I'll play the Chevron Self-Serve Island Pump 3.
Make sure they give you some tokens though. You got to throw down on some Galaga.
It's in the contract. It's part of my rider.
Perfect,
I need $14 in tokens. $14 just to be a little weird about it.
Yeah. So top three. That's awesome, man.
Yeah. Well, the owner of the club is probably the smartest person in stand-up when it comes to building a club and doing it. And in fact, she's so good at her club that other clubs around the country come and hang out with her to see what she did.
Oh, nice.
And the ones that do well, and the ones that don't, that's too expensive. She does it. Well, she makes more money. It can't be too expensive if she makes more money than you.
Got to invest in what you're doing.
There you go. Yeah. So you guys are lucky. It's weird if you've grown up in Denver and you've only gone to comedy here. You don't know how lucky you are.
Right.
Take it from a guy who's played the Draftcade in Toledo.
I've seen so many of the posts of people like, I'm moving here and they're back in 3 months. And I'm like, man, sometimes you don't know what you have until you get out of it. So.
Oh, I played a club called Magoobies where we actually got in a fist fight on the East Coast in Baltimore, outside of Baltimore, where a fist fight started because of the Ukraine war. So, that's my job.
Who did you jump in? Did you participate?
I did.
Because you are a professional American.
I did.
You needed to pick a side.
I did because there was it's a weird. You want to hear the story? It's really quick.
Please.
It's actually not. So I'm doing my show. Ukraine war just started. A guy wearing he's dressed as the Ukraine flag, but he's drunk and he's kind of heckling, but he's striking like this and then I'm doing shows and he's with this girl and they're kind of weird and I found out there was a Tinder date. I found out later it was a Tinder date. And he's gonna like I do a joke and he does this and I'm like, what are you doing? He's tapping his watch so I finally just go after the guy. Listen, I was raised by my father. If you're a jerk long enough, I'm gonna out jerk you. I was raised by a pro.
Yeah.
So I start going after him. Finally ask. I go, get out of here, Matt. Just get up and leave. And COVID had just happened, and there's no bouncers. So these two 16-year-old kids come over. Sir, you have to go, sir. Oh. Sir, we have to get you out of here. And this guy's like, he flips them off, so they finally. There's a guy in front of them who's this big fan of mine, but he's a Shrek. His shoulders started at the top of his head. He just went boom, and he looks at me, and he's in front of this guy. And he looks at me, he sees I'm mad. He gets up, turns around, and goes, "It's time for you to go." And the guy got up, so he gets up. As walking, I hear, we start singing "We Are the World" because that's what I do to cover the melee. All of a sudden, I hear this noise. And I'm like, what is going on? So So it turns out that this guy on the way out, he's drunk, had bumped into a table of a blind woman and her husband. Her husband stood up and starts swearing. She can't feel her husband anymore. She starts panicking.
Oh, no.
There's a woman who heckled earlier who I slammed. I slammed her husband. And she goes, that was wrong. The Ukrainian guy, that was wrong. A guy up here goes, shut the F up, lady. And all of a sudden, it's this melee, this East Coast melee. And then there's this crowd, and they wouldn't leave the room, and they're all over in the corner. And I hear, and I go, what's going on now? And someone goes, she's blind. And at that point, I walked off. I got my black belt in 06. I'm like, well, we got 16-year-old bouncers. We got nobody helping. This has now gone on for 7 minutes. So I get a stage to help. Go after the guy whose wife had said, that's wrong. And he puts his fist up to hit me, and I go to hit him. I have a guy grab my arm, and it's this guy about this tall, and he leans on me. He goes, Titus, we're Baltimore PD. We got this. And I'm like, all right.
Okay, good.
At that point, I'm ready to go. I look over here. My wife was also a comedian standing right here, and she goes, you get back on that stage right now. You are out of control. You ever know, like, because I was in.
Yeah.
But your wife can cut through it, man. She was like part of the Red Seas of my anger. Right. She was like the Moses of my hatred, and she just went, and I was like, okay. And I walked back on stage, and
finished the show.
I gave the audience a 5-minute lecture on how comedy's supposed to work, like a TED Talk, and then we finished the show. And the weird thing is, I got a standing ovation. It was the weirdest night.
I mean, and as a professional American, what's more American than Ukraine just causing what's going on here, man?
It messed us up in America,
man. Well, what I have right here, this is my comedy cap. These are all questions that prior comedians that were on the segment have asked. So I would love if you could answer one of these, and then if you could add a question to the hat for me, please.
Okay, got it. Is it a question for you?
It's a question for yourself. So if you could read it and say who it is, and then we'll add a question to the hat.
Okay. Michael Yo said this. Who's the first comedian to believe in you and help you in your career or bring you on the road? Wow. Who's the first one to take me aside? Okay. I believe in me. I'll tell you what. The first guy that gave me the advice I give to comedians to this day was Dana Carvey. I got to work with Dana Carvey when I started. He hadn't done Saturday Night Live yet. He had done a couple of pilots and a couple of TV shows, like bad TV shows in the 80s, in the late 70s, early 80s. And he told me this. I asked him to watch my show one night, and he goes, do you want me to tell you you're funny, or do you want me to tell you the truth? And which is funny. And I go, I was raised by Ken Titus. I'm fine. You can tell me the truth.
Yeah.
So I did the show, and I get done, and I go, what do you think? He goes, well, you have good jokes? He goes, you perform well? He goes, you don't look at the audience. I go, yes, I do. He goes, no, you don't. You look at the back wall the whole time. He goes, so here's what I want you to do. And he changed everything. He goes, you ever feel not connected to them? I go, yes. And he goes, it's because you're not looking at him. He goes, I want you to do this. I want you to do is set up to one person, punchline to the room. Set up to another person, punch them, and try to talk to every person with every joke before you get off stage.
Wow.
And he goes, because the people that you're talking to, he said, they're part of, they love you now. The people around them think you're talking to them.
Right.
And it changed. So my son started doing comedy now. My son does. It's been 2.5 years. And I gave it to him, and he said, holy crap, Dad, it changed my entire set.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so Dana Carvey.
Dana Carvey there. A few weeks from now, you're going to be tagged by another comedian with a question. If you could add it to the cap, please.
Okay. What's the worst place doing comedy that they made you stay in?
Okay.
I have some stories.
Some rooms there.
Yeah. What's the worst one? You want to tell you one?
Oh, please.
Okay.
Please.
I was working this club. This is the last time I stayed. They used to have comedy condos, which was a write-off for the club owner, except they never cleaned them. And comedians are the worst human beings. We are literally the worst scumbags in the world. And I walk into this room, and I call the club owner, and I go, hey, man, I'm not staying in the condo. He goes, yeah, go over there, check it out. So he goes, it's nice, it's clean. I go in, and the tub literally has like a gray ring around it.
Gosh.
And it smelled like nothing in clean. And I called him, and I go, I'm not staying here. He goes, yeah, you are. And I go, no, I'm not. And he goes, hey, listen, that's where comedians stay. I go, I'll tell you what, if you'll stay here with me, I'll stay here. This is a guy who owns the club. This guy owned a chain of clubs at the time.
Yeah.
And I've always been that guy. I've always been the guy who gets kicked out of the Massachusetts colony. And I go, you either stay. I go, if you come stay with me, I'll stay here with you. Literally 15 minutes later, they go, all right, you're staying at the Holiday Inn.
Called the bluff.
Yeah, called the bluff. So what's the worst place and the most disgusting place that you had to stay because of comedy? Yeah.
Well, thank you for adding that to the cap. Thank you for making time for us.
Dude,
and
thanks,
thank
brother.
you,
Thanks,
Comedy
man.
Works South at Landmark. Get those tickets at ComedyWorks.com. Christopher Titus, thank you.